Furiosa is a movie that I genuinely very much enjoyed. Now in terms of Mad Max movies, I've seen Road Warrior, Fury Road, and this one, and this is easily my favorite out of the three. Road Warrior I was not a huge fan of. Fury Road I enjoyed a lot, but there are some minor issues to it. Now what I really enjoyed about Fury Road was the production value and scale and practical effects within it. Not to mention this film has some pretty great cinematography throughout, and obviously this movie has a lot of really entertaining creative action sequences throughout the film. Basically everything you want out of a Mad Max movie. The only issue that I really have with it was kind of the structure of the story and the way characters' motivations were revealed, but overall a very fun ride and I highly recommend it to people, especially if you're a fan of the Mad Max saga. Now in terms of Furiosa, I really enjoyed how the story was structured and how the film was paced. It really felt like it justified its 2.5 hour long runtime, and none of it ever felt boring or slow, despite having a very much slower tone than Fury Road. I think the cast of Furiosa is genuinely stronger than Fury Road. Anya Taylor-Joy does a great job with her performance, and the child actor in this movie did a good job, and I think the transition between younger version of this character and older version of this character is done very well. Not to mention I just genuinely found myself very invested in this character and her struggle throughout the entire film, and that in all honesty is a very surprising part about this movie, the fact that I was finding myself being emotionally invested within the story. Now in terms of how the movie was structured, the beginning really lingers on a certain time period for longer than I would expect it to, and that really is a good choice because in a movie like this, one person would kind of take this period and rush by it, but this really manages to build up a lot between the relationship between the main character and antagonist of the film. It was a very good decision and I'm thankful that they made it. The child actor in this movie does a great job with her performance. In a lot of movies where the child actor's performance is less than stellar to say the least, this actor managed to do a really great job with her performance. There are certain parts in her performance where she shows a certain amount of acceptance of the reality that this is what it's going to be like. And I think that's just such a great detail to add in the film. To have the Mad Max universe set through the eyes of a child, it certainly helps to distinguish this movie from other movies in the franchise. Chris Hemsworth is a genuinely great addition to this movie. He really managed to make a huge impact and impression and did a great job of distinguishing himself from other characters he's played, and he in all honesty is the best actor in this movie in my opinion. There are enough action sequences throughout this movie to really keep you engaged with it, and despite there being a lot more smaller, toned down scenes throughout this film, it's genuinely welcomed. I really enjoyed the friendship/love interest subplot throughout this movie. In other movies it's just kind of annoying and thrown in there because the studio is telling you to throw it in there, but in this movie it genuinely complements the tone of it, and I enjoyed these actors' chemistry with each other. They really managed to have a few great character moments throughout this movie. Now one gripe that I do have with this movie would be how they dealt with the confrontation kind of near the end. I really enjoyed this scene up to a point, but then it just kept going and going and going, and it feels like it just should have ended earlier. It would have been so much more powerful and fit the themes of the movie, so I just really feel like they should have ended it there instead of keep going with it. Another aspect that I can think of this movie doing better than Fury Road is it had much more varied locations and environments, and that's not meant to be a criticism to Fury Road. Fury Road very clearly knew what it wanted to be and did a great job of accomplishing that, but this one just has a lot more varied locations and you can really feel the scope and layout of it. Now overall I really enjoyed this movie, and it kind of sucks that it's bombing at the box office right now. Now originally I was going to give this one a 6 out of 10, but going through it now I think this one deserves a 7 out of 10. So there it is, 7 out of 10, go watch it.